Welcome to Beijiao, an HO Chinese layout set in the spring of 2001. Believe it or not, steam power was still just hanging on at this time, although it was mostly used around the heavily polluted industrial cities. The layout intends to recreate a scene from the outskirts of such a city where a mixture of steam and diesel traction can be seen. Set against a backdrop of grey concrete flats that overlook the railway and the orange sky, it's certainly a layout that stands out as something very different. On the left-hand side of the layout, the buildings very much dominate the foreground, with additional detail seen in the streets below, such as this children's playground. Meanwhile, towards the back of the layout are the industrial railway lines, and it is here where the enormous Chinese steam engines can mostly be seen. Offstage to the right, the railway links to a steelworks up a very steep 1 in 30 gradient, and this requires the use of 2 banking engines, which are often seen moving around the layout to get into position. It's a layout that never stops moving, and you certainly get a sense of the busy city and the industries that these railway lines serve. Steam traction isn't just reserved for the industrial railway at the back though. At the front of the layout is a bi-directional line where you can currently see a steam engine making its way along with a very heavy freight train. Look closely and you'll also notice that after the train passes, the crossing gates open automatically to let traffic pass back through. Speaking of traffic, it's not just the trains that move on the layout, as you can see here. Vans and lorries are constantly making their way back and forth along the roads between the buildings. It's very effective and again brings the layout to life, adding to the hustle and bustle atmosphere of the busy city outskirts. On the very far right of the layout, the construction of a new bridge is also underway, with a cement mixer currently preparing the next batch of concrete. And of course, the last working steam engines were a big attraction for some people. Look closely at the yellow car beside the track and you'll see a photographer ready to snap a picture of the passing train. Of course, once the locomotive has passed, he pops back into his car to check the photos. This little cameo was inspired by the many trips to China the layout's owner and friends took to capture the last days of steam there. Indeed, the whole layout is very much an homage to this. The layout rarely stops moving, and here we can see the mainline passenger service slowly rumbling through, while at the back the industrial train heads off to the steelworks, with its 2 banking locomotives behind. Regardless of your preferred era and location for a model railway, it's always nice to see something so different and created at such a high standard. At exhibitions where picturesque British-style layouts can almost start to blend into each other, Beijiao is definitely one that stands out amongst the crowd. So I hope you've enjoyed this little extended look at the layout, and if you have, please do consider subscribing and hitting the bell icon as well to see more videos in the future. That's going to be it for today though, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!